Absurd. You remember the TV show Barney and Friends, which is still in syndication. The episode has not been produced since 2009. What a lot of people don't know is that the show was really developed as a small concept that was only meant to have 10 episodes. The show is always surrealistic, with a large purple Tyrannosaurus Rex trying to protect happiness to a group of children who are alone in a building with no parents in sight. Well, the creator of the show was kicking around with many different producers before the show aired on PBS. But with that said, I still have absolutely no idea how I got this tape in my possession. It was in a box of VHS tapes that had sticker markings, meaning it was from TV off of one of those late night channels. Meaning someone was probably broadcasting independently. I may upload it one of these days if I ever get my hands on a VHS tape converter. The episode does not start out normally. The children are outside the main building and going to meet Barney, but the door won't open. The entire first 3 minutes are the children trying desperately to get into the building. They punch at the windows, grab at the door, and one of them even starts to cry. One of them gets a knife from the next to the sandcastle and tries to jimmy the lock. Eventually, the door opens and they go inside. Where is he? The child actors, a collection of boys and girls of young ages and varying race, all seem visibly shaken. Have you seen me is written on the wall in large cartoon letters. They seem to want to know if Barney is playing a trick, so they start to act as through it's a game of hide and seek. There's bottles of seemingly spoiled milk near the door. The school doors around them start to open and close like a set malfunction. Pacific, Specifically, the door to the common area where the show takes place opens and closes twice. And an alternate set door, which is never seen on the show, opens at once. The set is visibly cold, and the children begin shaking. One of the kids is really sad. I think Barney's in trouble, one of them says. None of them say anything now. It's as though they're trying to say something that's on the tip of their tongue, maybe for the sake of acting. There was an ant farm on the back wall next to a blue clay pot on a shelf. One of the younger girls points it out by saying, "Our ants are dead. We should just leave." Another girl points out a rotted withered pumpkin, where even the flowers surrounding it are dead. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream is heard in the alternate hall. Four of the students run into the hallway, struggling and panicking behind stage while a fifth runs over to the back wall. This one starts ripping the children's drawings off the wall. One is of a car crash, another of a graveyard, and a third picture of the sick person in bed. The kids seem to be running behind the set forever until an unused corridor that was never seen on any other episode, as far as I know, seems to go on forever. It looks like either the creators use the same set and have the kids run through the hall a dozen times, or it's just an extremely strange and lonely hall. There's a limbo bar in the middle of the hall and the old duck under it and keep moving. Somehow they up at the claws on a different set. The camera jumps. One child uses an asthma inhaler because he's visibly out of breath. There's a sixth child at the closet who is doing all the screaming. 6 paper skeletons. That's it. At this point, I thought maybe they were. Oh boy, where was I? Alright. I thought maybe they were just doing a children's horror show. The kids grab the 6 skeletons, one for each child, and rip them up. Where was I? Right. One girl takes purple sweater off. One of the children says, "I know where he is." And the screen fades out. We'll be right back. Is shown with a picture of Barney, but he's looking downward. He doesn't look like himself. There's a visible rip in the fabric of his costume right at the left side. The only real creepy thing about it is how long this stays up, and the fact that the more I looked at it, the more I realized it was an empty costume. Put up by maybe a broom or something. Back in the outdoors area, Barney is seen laying on his side, gasping for air. There was something clawing from him, which was absolutely disturbing. Where were you? One of the kids runs up and starts to hug him, but Barney pushes him off. I was always here, he says. You just never saw me until now. He's holding a balloon for each child. They go to grab one. He releases them, letting them drift upward while the kids scramble to jump and grab them. He's fading! One of the kids becomes frantic. I never taught you any of you lessons, he says. I just loved you. I knew only how to love you. The kids start to cry. He's fading. I believe in you, Barney. The kids will start to shiver, and Barney begins to scream frantically for them to move. Black cloth. Hold on, I actually messed up. Black cloth begins falling from the top of the set of pieces. A part of you wants to hate me, he says. I know that part of you. I cannot resolve it. I can't teach you lessons. No, I can't fix what's broken. Every time the camera cuts back, Barney's in a different suit. There's a stuffed bear and a giant blanket with eyes. I don't know who broke your heart. It's like someone did. And then you grew up and you had a family, but nothing ever changed since then. One of the children has now changed into an unkempt 30-year-old in the same clothing. Using the asthma inhaler, another of the kids becomes more frantic and starts trying to rip the costume head off, but Barney picks her up and violently throws her to the back set. For the duration of the show, she never gets up. Barney starts to cry, which is the only time this ever on the show. Won't you look at me, please? I mean, really look at me. You never really seen me. Barney's suit is now completely white, and he's only at half capacity, holding a ticking clock. I'm guessing the opacity is because they used a low-budget overlay. He takes a knife from the child's hand and physically cuts down the center of his clothing. Two cats crawl out of the suit and run off. The set grows very dark, and Barney's opacity begins to fade even more. And remember, I always love you. I'm not sure what the remains of the VHS tape are, as someone seems to have taped it over it with an immediate footage of a car crash.